So I just got off of watching Smashbox TV, where they were talking about the USDGC and the coverage. And apparently the Disc Golf Network is not going to be doing the live coverage. It's going to be the USDGC's own entity. So basically a lot of pissed off Disc Golf Network subscribers and people that pay that monthly fee are probably not going to be paying that monthly fee much longer. So basically, you have 3 tiers that the USDGC is offering you. There's a $20 one, a $30 one, and a $40 one. Now, most people I think are going to pay the $20 one because that's the most common sense. You just want to see it, that's fine. You're helping support the disc golf community, you know, paying 20 bucks is not that big a deal. You know, you spend more than that on some of these discs. 20 bucks is not bad. It's the one in the middle that I don't really understand. I don't understand why anybody would really go for that one. Really, there should just be 2 options and make it easy. But like it's not even. The middle one is just not a lot of people I think are going to really buy that one. But it's the gold one that I'm curious about the most, because that's the one that I was going to buy it. I was going to be like, you know what, I'm going to support disc golf, live disc golf, and I'm interested in this. You know, they had some good stuff on there also, aside from just watching the coverage, live coverage, and all this other stuff. So I was like, you get a disc for the USDGC. Thought that would be kind of cool. Like, that'd be worth something. But they're limited to 500. Like, that was when I stopped, and I was like, well, how do I know I'm not the 501st person to click that button and want to pay that $39.99? I would, if I knew that there was still some of those left. See, I don't like that part, that there's no transparency there. And a lot of those people probably didn't read the fine print and probably didn't notice that there's only a limited quantity of those things. So there's going to be a lot of unhappy people throughout this whole thing, which is pretty much unavoidable. So yeah, I wanted to get the gold, but not knowing that I would get that disc, that's kind of like a huge bonus. Like, I think 500 people is going to buy on that real quick. If they had like a second, like a runner-up disc, like a premium Innova disc or something, like for the next 500, and then the next 500 would get this, you know, then it would make more sense. But like, there's no transparency on whether or not you're going to get it or not. So here's the thing I don't like about it right off the gate. I don't like that Terry Miller is not going to be on the commentary for the live version. I think that he's easily the best. I don't understand why they don't put him there every single time. So I'm not happy with that. I think him and Jamie Thomas, is it Jamie Thomas or Thompson? One of those two. But Jamie, he's great. He's awesome. Those two together they're great. I think they're easily the best. So they should always be on these things, but like, they're like on the side coverage where it's like talking about recaps and stuff, which I'm sure is going to be good. I'll watch it if I decide to subscribe to the Disc Golf Network thing, which doesn't really seem worth it at this point. So I don't know that I will, but you know, if you're there, I'm sure you'll watch it and it'll be worth it. It'll be great. It's got Terry Miller's great, so Jamie is great. Why would you not want to watch them? So, and not that there's anything wrong with Philo and Ian. Everybody loves those guys. They're great. They're all great. It's just there are these guys, like they're so good at this. That's what they do for a living. They commentate. They make videos. It's like it's in their DNA. Like, I don't understand why they don't make them the first picks. Like, why did they choose Philo and Ian? Again, nothing against those guys. I love those guys. They're great. Philo's a super nice guy. I've met him. He's a super nice guy. So you have 2 different options. You really can't choose one or the other. I mean, you're either going to watch the live coverage or you're going to watch the one on the Disc Golf Network, the kind of recap kind of a thing. I mean, you could watch both, I'm sure, but like, why would you do that? You know? So I don't understand why they have to be separate entities. Why could they not work together on that? I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of financial reason. People got to get paid and all that stuff. That's fine. I get it, but just seems like there shouldn't be always this separate thing. They need to unite and be one thing. If there's going to be any kind of next day coverage or any kind of coverage, that's what we're used to. That's what most of us are used to. So it's not a good thing that we're not necessarily a good thing that we're used to that, or a bad thing, but it's just what we've been programmed to deal with. So now having to pay so much money, or X amount of money, depending on whether you want to spend more or less, it's different. And most other no sport does this that I know of. That's you pay to watch or something. Like it's so. I think I paid once for. I think it was for USDGC where I paid once. So there's going to be tons of people that still hate paying for it, and then there's going to be those other people that are all about, like, I'm going to support disc golf, I'm going to support anything disc golf, and blah blah blah, and throw it all in your face and make you feel like you're some bad person for not being willing to pay 20, 30, or 40 bucks to watch something that you can watch for free, or used to watch for free. And for me, I'm on the neutral side. I understand why they're charging, because it's not cheap to do stuff like that. It's not. To do live coverage, it's not cheap, and disc golf is not at a point where it's just so easy to do that financially. Not even close. My only beef is that why is it a separate entity? It should be one place to go every single time for every tournament, period. That's just, it makes sense to me. I'm sure there's all kind of other financial factors with people that own these rights and people that own these rights, but people own rights to certain things. It's a business at the end of the day as well. So, you know, props to them for doing what they got to do. That's fine, but hopefully one day it'll all be just one big network, or on just one place for us all to go. There are a lot of good things and bad things about it, but is it worth it to pay 20, 30, or 40 bucks? I'd say if you can get in that first 500, good luck to you. I'd say it was definitely worth it, because there's other benefits to it as well. Absolutely worth it. The $20 one, yeah, that's fairly worth it. If you want to watch it, you're off at that whole span of time, and you want to watch every one of them, or go back and watch them, yeah, definitely. Totally worth it. 20 bucks, not bad. The one in the middle I don't really understand, so I would either go big or go home. Period. I wouldn't go for the middle one. So this is what we have to deal with right now, is if we want to watch live disc golf with good coverage, this is kind of what we got to deal with for now, you know, until we get to that point. Like, yeah, we had the whole CBS thing, but that wasn't live. It was just, honestly, I don't even see the point of that. I know it's great to get us in on like a major network, but at the same time, it was like, that wasn't live. That was just, Jomez does the same thing. Maybe not as in depth as that one was, but like they do just as good a job to watch. It's just as entertaining. So I'm indifferent on the whole CBS thing. Like, it was cool, but it was like, what? That wasn't live. Like, I would be excited if the USDGC was going to be live on CBS or any other network, ESPN or something like that. That would be cool, but like, it's not live. But this is live, so that's cool. So that's, if you want to see live action, definitely get into it. I think it's worth it, at least for 20 bucks. And if you, I don't like that there's only that small limit on the discs, because I think that's going to be a huge selling point for the disc. There should have been one for each tier, maybe. You know, like each different plastic. You know, the premium for this one, like the USDGC one, and then a premium for the middle one, and then like some other kind of disc or whatever. They could have made it happen, you know, just to kind of get the ball rolling, because we're all suckers for plastic, let's be honest. So I guess pick your poison. So I saw a comment on the Smashbox you know, debriefing on the whole USDGC thing, and someone said they were going to unsubscribe to their Disc Golf Network subscription or whatever. And like, that, you don't know that this is Disc Golf Network's fault. You don't know that they tried to be able to do the live coverage for this and had it taken from them. You don't know what the route was, so that is absolute bullshit. You can't go blaming people when you don't even know who there is to blame. Like, you know, Disc Golf Network has their thing, and I would only assume that they wanted to do the coverage for this, but weren't able to, and this is like their last, this is what they can do, and they can still provide something for the people that pay monthly to see what they have. But also, this is not part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. You got to think, the USDGC is not part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It's a completely separate thing, so you can't just naturally expect that. That's why I think that it should all be one big thing, one all-encompassing PDGA Tour thing. You know, the Disc Golf Pro Tour is cool, and they got their little thing too, but there still needs, at the end of the day, to be, when it comes to these certain events, where everybody comes together. You know, PDGA presents Disc Golf Network's coverage of whatever, however it should be, just some way all-encompassing, so that it's not infuriating people like it is. So, and also, side note, I never really paid much attention to this until recently, that the USDGC is like the men's only, like it's basically just the men's only. Let's just be honest. And then you have the Women's National Championship. Why are there two separate names for something that should be the same thing? Like, USDGC to me isn't just a men's thing. When I think of United States Disc Golf Championship, I think of men's and women's version. You know, the AMs, and not the AMs, but like, you know, the Masters and all those. Like, I think of those kind of things all in one. Like, I guess I've never really paid much attention to it before, that they separate those two things, and I can't be the only person that doesn't like that, because to me, USDGC doesn't roll off my tongue like that's just the men's division. To me, USDGC is the overall championships for everybody, you know? There's mine behind me. So, it's the USDGC and the Women's National Championship. So you get double coverage, but again, I don't understand why it doesn't need to be USWDGC to be for the women's. It's just it's just the Disc Golf Championships. It's everybody, right? I don't understand that part. I guess I've just been so blind and haven't really paid attention, but that just does bother me a little bit, that there's just like two completely separate titles for what is really just one thing. We're all disc golfers. This is the championship for disc golfers, the United States one, so why does there need to be a completely separate name for the women's? So that's my spiel. Just thought I'd talk about that. I wasn't able to get out today, so it's my whining for the day. Let me know what you guys think of it below. Whether you like it or you don't like it. You're gonna subscribe to the USDGC coverage, or you're not. Are you gonna stay subscribed to the Disc Golf Network? What are you gonna do? So yeah, I'm curious as to how many people, what everybody thinks about it. So that's it. It's getting dark. I've rambled on enough. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button for me, or at least one of them. Preferably the subscribe button. So that's all I got. Thanks, guys.